What is up, people? Welcome to this new channel, Mouths Keep Talking. So, a bit of introduction because you guys must be following me on my previous channel, that was The Savage Vibe. Now, what I have thought is The Savage Vibe will be a channel only for vlogs and so on. And on Mouths Keep Talking, we will be a podcast company. Yes, you heard it right, a podcast company, and I'm really very excited for this. So, basically, in this episode of Mouths Keep Talking, the quarantine edition, what I want to explain is what exactly is the Mouths Keep Talking, the quarantine edition. So, on my previous channel, we did this Mouths Keep Talking, the quarantine edition series where we were recommending movies, series, books, podcast, and so on with my friends. There's an episode with Kenneth, Ashley, and so on. Now, what I thought is I would like to continue that segment or that podcast here. So, quarantine edition, I think so. Does that sound good? We can rebrand it, but I think so. These are tough times, and during this times, one word that we all know is quarantine. And I thought that it does stick with everyone, so it's easy to remember. And I was like, okay, this can be the thing that we can go ahead with. Now, what I need help with is you guys really need to comment down below, or tell me, message me on Instagram, comment, just tell me that what all do you want in this recommendations. So basically, the quarantine edition will be a podcast for recommendations. I want to recommend movies, series, anime, any form of art to you guys, books. So now it depends on you all. If you guys want specific only movie, series and anime in that art form, then we will keep quarantine edition only for that, and we might start another whole podcast segment for books and philosophy and so on. Now, I did record a video with Kian D'Souza on Haruki Murakami. He's an amazing author. Do check out his books. We spoke about Men Without Women, a book written by Haruki Murakami, and we focused on the chapter Kino. So that video will also be out soon, or it must be out depending. I don't know how I'm editing this video. And I want to bring Kenneth, my friend Kenneth, for a podcast for finance. I want to bring Varun Bhatt for a podcast on MMA, mixed martial arts and fighting in general. So there's a lot I want to do, and this is a very ambitious project. So that's the thing. Now, without wasting time, now that you guys know what we are going for, let's just start this video. So guys, lately I realized that in my previous episodes I wasn't recommending a lot of Indian movies, and I wasn't talking about a lot of Indian art form. Now lately, I don't know if you guys have heard about this movie Drishyam. Now, what I mean by you guys heard about this movie Drishyam is the Malayalam version. Now, because I think, if I ain't wrong, the Malayalam version was the original version, and from which it was amazing that all the states seen that what this movie is, right, let's just remake it into our language. So there is a Tamil version, Telugu version, Kannada version, and yes, lovely, even the Hindi version, which Ajay Devgan win it. But I have to tell you guys have to go and see the original. See the original, it's there on YouTube, and see just parts of it. See who is the main character in that original video, who is the mother, who is the sister, and so on. Because if you've seen the Hindi Drishyam movie, then I don't want you guys to waste time and you guys will be like, ye kya yaar, Ryan ne same story wala movie recommend kiya. That's not what I'm telling you to do. Just see who is who in that video, and then see Drishyam 2. I have to tell you, it is one of the best. I don't know if I like to believe that in Bollywood we even count all our regional languages, because if we don't, then we are at a loss. It was the best Indian movie that I seen this year. Drishyam 2 is a must watch. It's basically a continuation of where Drishyam 1 had left over, and I'm not going to give any spoilers. I'll try my best not to give any spoilers, and I'll just read out what Drishyam 2 is, what's there on Wikipedia. Drishyam 2, the Resumption, or simply Drishyam 2, is a 2021 Indian Malayalam-language crime drama film written and directed by Jeethu Joseph and produced by Anthony. So originally the makers planned for a theatrical release. The producers later opted to release the film through the streaming service Amazon Prime Video. So yes, you can check it out on Amazon Prime. So the log line, I'll just read the log line. It says that a gripping tale of an investigation and a family which is threatened by it. Will George Clooney be able to protect his family this time? So there are themes which are highlighted in Drishyam 2. Obviously the theme being a father's will to protect his own family. A man in general, a man, what lengths will a man go to protect his own blood, to protect his own family? And you get in part 1, we really see the perspective from George Clooney's side, and in part 2 also you're rooting for him to win, but at the same time that someone else also is at loss. Someone did lose their child, right? And you try to think about the other perspective, but you're so in line with George Clooney's character that you want him to win, you want him to save the day. He's the hero of the movie. You can't want him to, you don't want him to lose. And it's a amazing thriller movie. And what I liked is, in the start it's a slow burn. You get to know the characters more, you get to understand what they are going through mentally, and that's so beautiful, and I never seen the Hindi dub. Right now I think the Drishyam 2 has a Hindi dub on Amazon Prime, but if you could watch it into Malayalam, because it focuses you to actually be vigilant in the movie. When it's like dub or something, maybe now we don't know how well the dub is, but still at the end of the day, just watch the movie. It is one hell of an amazing movie. Now moving ahead from Drishyam 2, this year I think so we'll get a movie called DHAMAKA by Kartik Aaryan, and you guys, I think so there's a teaser out already of the movie, and it seemed very interesting to me because Kartik Aaryan, we always see him all in that Pyar Ka Panchnama kind of movies, like he's the chocolate boy of India, if I have to use the right term. So yeah, and suddenly seeing Kartik Aaryan screaming and in such a serious such a serious character, I was interested. I was like, what is this movie all about? So I went I read and I realized that okay, this is a remake. Then I was like, fine, okay, Bollywood did another remake. What's the big deal? So I went and I checked out which movie it was that they remade. They made a remake of the movie The Terror Live, which is basically a Korean movie, and the logline goes like: a newsman discovers he's been rigged with a bomb after he has an exclusive interview with a terrorist who blew up a bridge. And damn, I was like, okay, this also seems interesting. I went ahead and I seen the movie. I have to say, it was a nice movie. It had the best part about, if you guys still are skeptical about Korean art, you guys really need to think about it. You guys need to contemplate, why are we so skeptical about this. South Korea that is, and Japan is out there making one of the best arts that we have ever seen. Japan is making anime, Korea is making K-dramas and Korean movies, and they're blessing us with their art, because I'm telling you, it is amazing. And when I seen this movie, it does make you think, right? Because of everything that goes on, like the public being lied to, and so much of politics there, and everything. It just makes you think, and it's a good watch. Like, what's more interesting is, I love movies where the film makers are challenged. Like, if you guys have seen Saw, another one of my favorite movies ever made, Saw, was the part 1 was just shot in like one room, and till the end you are just sitting on your seat thinking, what's going to happen, what's the next move, you are like glued to your seat. And that's it's not that good, but yes, it does manage to get the same feeling. So The Terror Live, go watch that movie too. And there is no dub for this movie, so yeah, you gotta watch it in English subtitles. And for the final movie in this Mouse Keep Talking, the quarantine edition episode, would be Palm Springs. Now, for all of you people who love Andy Samberg. Now, if you guys don't know Andy Samberg, he is a lead star in a show called Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And Brooklyn Nine-Nine is that show, where you had a stressful day and you just go and you watch that series and it makes you laugh, it makes you smile, and that's what Brooklyn Nine-Nine is all about, right? And it has a huge fan base. So I don't have to sell the show to you as such, but yeah, I just want to tell you that Andy Samberg was in this project. I seen the trailer, it seemed interesting. So it has basically the idea with the movie is to include a time loop. Now, when I was a kid, I loved stuff like this. Till date, I love stuff which has time loop. Time loop meaning that you or the main character is stuck in a time loop. So you are stuck in, let's say, your birthday forever. Every day is your birthday, or whatever day just repeats again and again and again. That's what happens. So Andy Samberg is stuck in a time loop. Now, what's different in this movie is that it focuses on philosophy. And honestly speaking, I never expected this from Palm Springs, because in Palm Springs, there is Andy Samberg and so on. So you expect it to be a comedy movie. Andy Samberg is there. It's just going to be comedy, or max to max is going to be a rom-com. But for let's say rom-com or a comedy movie to add a layer of philosophy, I was impressed. Honestly speaking, I remember, messaging Kian. I remember talking to Kian and saying, you gotta watch this movie, Palm Springs. It's just amazing. It's now I exactly don't know what philosophy they were going for, in the sense, like, there are different philosophies. There is nihilism, there is existentialism, and there is stoicism, and so on. That's what I mean for, I don't know which exact philosophy they were going for, the filmmakers, but we'll try and extract information from Wikipedia. Okay, so here in Wikipedia it says that director Max and screenwriter Andy Sierra first came up with the idea as students at the American Film Institute. With an equal eye on Jungian philosophy, I'm so sorry, I can never pronounce his name right. Philosophical ideas and the pragmatic importance of writing a small budget film that would be easy to produce, they imagined the script as an absurdist comedic mumblecore taken on leaving Las Vegas, centered on a despondent 30-something who travels to Palm Springs to kill himself, only to slowly rediscover a sense of meaning in his life. So basically, what was interesting to me, like, when the movie starts, the main character, that is Andy Samberg, he is given up on life. What he says is life is meaningless. And he keeps saying this because he's stuck in a time loop. Whatever he do doesn't matter. He can, just for drink the whole day. He can just, like, make out with random chicks. Nothing matters. And that's what he keeps saying. Life doesn't matter. And he does believe that till the main actress of the movie is introduced, and then he falls in love with her and he finds meaning in her. She is his meaning. Like, see, now, yes, we can have a debate or we can have a conversations, and you can say that no, this is not what the movie meant, and that's the that's the beauty, right? Movies like this, when you include philosophy in anything, so many people will have so many different opinions, and that's the beauty about philosophy. I'll just read the log line of Palm Springs. Palm Springs is a 2020 American science fiction romantic comedy directed by Max and screenplay written by Andy Sierra. It stars Andy Samberg and Kristen, and follows two strangers who met at a Palm Springs wedding to only get stuck in a time loop. Two wedding guests develop a budding romance while living the same day over and over again. So yeah, honestly speaking, I loved Palm Springs, and Drishyam too. Like I said, one of the best Indian movie that I seen this year, and even give a Terror Live and a try. Now I wanted to include series also in this I wanted to include series also in this video, but I thought, like, there was a lot of explanation that was going to happen in the start, and I didn't. So please let me know, what do you guys really want me to rebrand the quarantine edition, or is this fine? What all do you want? Do you guys want me to include books and podcast and so on recommendations? Like, should we just do recommendations in Mouse Keep Talking, the quarantine edition? So quarantine edition will be mostly like the show. The channel's name is Mouths Keep Talking. It's a podcast company, and below that we will have multiple shows. So like, Mouths Keep Talking MMA, Mouths Keep Talking Finance, and so on. And I really hope you like this video. Please like कर दो यार. तुम like करोगे ना, YouTube के algorithm को समझ में आएगा कि ठीक है, ये video थोड़ा अच्छा है. Let's just promote this video. And इतना दूर देख ही लिया है तो subscribe and hit the bell icon. If you hit the bell icon, nothing happens. I just come up on your notification page, and you'll always be notified that Mouths Keep Talking, Ryan D'Souza has uploaded a new video. And I really hope you guys like what we are doing right now, right here. My main goal is to make the world a better place by this podcast company. And what I mean by better place is, I contemplated this a lot, is that I starting I wanted to make only educational content, like philosophy and psychology, because I'm really curious about those stuff. But then I thought, I see a lot of Logan Paul and Joe Rogan. I thought, what, I want to mix entertainment also. So I realized there's this term called edutainment, and I thought, if Mouths Keep Talking should be one thing, it should be edutainment. So how can I make the world a better place? There is education like philosophy, psychology, and so on that I can give to my audience. And then there are stuff like entertainment, where, if someone is having a bad day, these are tough times, or whatever happens, just if they can get some kind of entertainment through my videos, I'll be really happy. So I'm trying my best, and that's just what I wanted to tell you guys. Really, thank you.